Let me ask you something. How much money did you save last month? Not how much you meant to save, not how much you planned to save. How much actually made it into a savings or investment account and stayed there? For most people, the honest answer is nothing, or close to it. And it's not because they didn't earn enough. It's not because they didn't want to save. It's because of how they were doing it. The average person follows the same financial sequence every single month. Income arrives, bills get paid, life happens, whatever's left gets saved, and whatever's left is almost always nothing. Because life will always expand to consume every dollar you make available to it, every single time. So today, we're not talking about budgeting. We're not talking about cutting lattes. We're not talking about any advice that requires you to be disciplined in the moment of temptation. We're talking about the one habit that removes discipline from the equation entirely. Automating your savings before you ever touch your paycheck. This is the simplest financial shift most people will never make, and the most expensive mistake they'll make for not making it. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes. This one is different. Part 1. Why the traditional approach fails: earn money, pay bills, spend on lifestyle, save whatever's left. It sounds logical. It feels responsible. It fails almost universally. And the reason it fails isn't willpower, it isn't discipline, it isn't even income. It's structure. The system places saving last in a sequence where last almost never comes. Think about what happens in a typical month. The rent is due. The car payment is automatic. The groceries happen. The dinner with friends happens. The Amazon purchase happens. The subscription renewals happen. The unexpected expense happens. And by the time the end of the month arrives, the account is either empty or close enough to empty that saving anything feels pointless. And here's what makes this so devastating. It's not that people are irresponsible. It's that they're operating in a system designed to consume everything before saving gets a turn. Because saving last means saving optional, and optional means inconsistent, and inconsistent means a savings account that never builds into anything that actually changes your life. The system isn't broken because you're broken. The system is broken because it was built for spending, not for building. Part 2. The shift that changes everything. There is a principle that has appeared in virtually every serious personal finance book ever written. It goes by different names: pay yourself first, reverse budgeting, automatic wealth building. But the mechanism is always the same. Before a single dollar touches your lifestyle, a predetermined percentage moves automatically into a savings or investment account, not after the bills, not after the groceries, not after the weekend, before any of it. The moment the paycheck lands, the money moves. Without a decision, without a reminder, without willpower. And here's why this works when everything else doesn't. It changes what you adapt to. When you save after spending, you spend what you have and there's nothing left to save. When you save before spending, you spend what remains, and your savings never get touched. The lifestyle adapts to the lower number every time. You adjust to $3,000 a month, the same way you adjusted to $3,500 a month. You make it work, because that's what humans do. We adapt to available resources. The automation doesn't require you to be a different person. It works with the person you already are. Part 3. The math that makes this life-changing. Let's talk about what this actually produces, because most people understand the concept, but don't fully feel the weight of the numbers. Scenario 1. Save after spending. Result: $0 to $200 saved per month inconsistently. Over 10 years at zero growth, roughly $24,000. $100,000. Over 10 years with 7% average return, roughly $33,000. Scenario 2. Automate $500 per month first. Spend the rest. Over 10 years at 7% average return, roughly $86,000. Same income, different sequence, $53,000 difference. Now apply that to $1,000 per month, automated. Over 10 years at 7%, roughly $173,000. Over 20 years, roughly $520,000, starting with just $1,000 per month. Before you ever see it, before you ever get a chance to spend it. This is the compound effect in its purest form. And the only thing required to access it is changing the sequence, not the income. Not the discipline, not the lifestyle dramatically. The sequence. Money moves first, then life happens with what remains. Part 4. How to actually set this up. Here is the exact process, step by step. No complexity, no financial degree required. Step 1. Decide the percentage. Start with what you can actually sustain. Not what sounds impressive. Not the 20% rule if 20% feels impossible right now. Start with 5%. If you earn $3,000 a month, that's $150. If you earn $5,000, that's $250. The amount matters less than the habit. The habit matters less than the automation. Start where you can start. You can increase it later. You just cannot keep doing nothing. Step 2. Open a separate account. Not the same bank, not the same app. A different institution entirely. The friction of transferring money back is intentional. You want a slight barrier between you and those funds. High-yield savings accounts currently offering 4 to 5% interest are ideal for this. Your money earns while it waits. Step 3. Set the automation. Log into your bank or employer payroll. Set up automatic transfer on payday. The exact day the income arrives, the savings move. Not the day after, not when you remember. The same day. Most banks allow you to set this up in under 5 minutes. Most employers allow split direct deposit, meaning part of your paycheck goes directly to savings before it ever touches your main account. Step 4. Set it and forget it. This is not a thing you monitor daily. This is not a budget you review weekly. You set it once. It runs every month, whether you think about it or not. That's the point. The system works without your attention, which means it works during the months you're stressed, the months you're distracted, the months you would have spent it if it had been available. It's always running, always building, while you live your life. Step 5. Increase by 1% every 6 months, not dramatically, 1%. After 6 months at 5%, move to 6%. After another 6 months, 7%. By year 3, you're at 10 to 12%, without having ever felt a dramatic change, because each 1% increase happened after you'd already adapted to the previous level. The increase is gradual. The result is not. Part 5. The psychology behind why this works. There's a reason this works when every other financial strategy fails, and it comes down to one psychological principle. You can't miss what you never had. When savings come out before you see the money, your brain doesn't register the loss. There's no sacrifice, no resistance, no willpower battle at the moment of temptation. The temptation never arrives because the money never appeared. Compare that to the alternative. Seeing your full paycheck, deciding to save some of it, watching the available balance, feeling the pull of spending, overriding that pull with willpower every single month. That's a battle most people lose, Not because they're weak, but because that's an enormously difficult cognitive and emotional task to perform consistently for decades. Automation removes the battle entirely. The second psychological principle is adaptation. Humans adapt to income levels almost immediately. If you earn $4,000 a month, you'll spend $4,000 a month. If you earn $3,500, you'll spend $3,500. The lifestyle adapts to the available number with remarkable consistency. Automation works with this tendency instead of against it. You make $4,000, but you only see $3,500. Your lifestyle adapts to $3,500. The $500 builds. The lifestyle never misses it. You didn't change your behavior. You changed what behavior had access to. That's the difference between a strategy that requires willpower and a system that doesn't need it. Part 6. The objections. Let's address the objections because you have them. Most people do. I can't afford to save right now. You can't afford not to. If you're waiting until you can afford to save, you'll be waiting until it's too late to matter. Start with $50 a month, $25, whatever is honestly possible. The amount is not the variable. The habit is, the automation is, starting is. What if I need the money for an emergency? That's what the separate account is for. Over time, it becomes the emergency fund. Once the emergency fund is established, the automation continues into investment accounts. The emergency fund typically needs 3 to 6 months of expenses. At $500 per month automated, that's fully funded in 6 to 12 months. Then it becomes generational wealth. My income is irregular. I can't automate. You can still pay yourself first. Just manually, on each income event. The moment a payment arrives, transfer the percentage before anything else happens. Same principle, different execution. The habit is money in, savings out. Life happens with the rest. Automation is the ideal delivery method. The habit is what actually matters. I already budget. That's the same thing. It isn't. Budgeting requires you to make the right decision every single month. Automation makes the right decision once and then never asks you again. A budget with willpower versus a system without it is not the same thing. One has a failure mode, the other doesn't. Here's the truth. There is no secret to building wealth. There is no shortcut. There is no investment tip or side hustle or financial hack that bypasses the fundamental requirement of consistently spending less than you earn and putting the difference somewhere it grows. What there is a way to make that happen without it requiring anything from you after the first setup. One automation. Set it once. Let it run. Every month in the background while you work, while you sleep, while you live the life that the savings are quietly funding. 10 years from now, you will either look back at today as the moment you started or the moment you meant to start. The difference between those two things is not knowledge. You already have the knowledge. It's not money. You have enough to start. It's not time. It takes 15 minutes to set up. The difference is a decision made today, right now. Before you talk yourself out of it, open the account, set the transfer, start with whatever you can honestly sustain, and then leave it alone and let it become the most important financial decision you've ever made without really trying. Drop a comment below with the percentage you're starting with, any number, any amount. Just commit to one number right now in the comments. That's how it starts.